Hello and welcome to this Headlines Today special with a politician who's never far away from the headlines or controversy. Joining me now is the Union HRD Minister, Smriti Irani. Appreciate your joining us, Smriti. One of the enduring images of this week is even as Rahul Gandhi was making an impassioned speech on the land bill in Parliament, you go to his constituency in Amethi and take him on precisely issues of land. Was that a deliberate, well-crafted strategy?
I think that I take strong objection to the fact that it's only his constituency. It's mine as well. I fought the Lok Sabha election in 2014 from Amethi. Hence, to say that Amethi सिर्फ किसी एक की जागीर है would be a wrong insinuation.
But you went there deliberately on the very day that you knew he was going to speak in Parliament.
How would I know what Mr. Gandhi is about to do? I'm not his keeper. And I would also like to say that it's possible that he knew that I'm going to Amethi on that day and chose to speak on that day.
But are you...
Why would you... I agree I'm not political royalty and don't have the pedigree as Mr. Gandhi. But at least give me that much a modicum of respect that possibly there is a possibility which has been actually seen on social media where some media reports announce my going to Amethi and exactly 2 hours later Mr. Gandhi's office announces his intention to visit.
You take the Minister of Agriculture. You take the Minister of Agriculture with you. You raise the issue of farmer suicides in Amethi. You raise the issue of the food park in Amethi. I get a sense that the BJP has decided once again, let's get Smriti Irani to take Rahul Gandhi because Rahul Gandhi is finally now in some way being revived and is starting to get, he's getting under the skin of the BJP.
With your implication that he is being revived, are you also implying that he was politically not considered alive enough earlier?
I am saying that in the last few weeks we have heard more and seen more of Rahul Gandhi than perhaps for several months before that.
Anything of him after Harsimrat Kaur Badal yesterday put on the table of the House a few facts which came to light?
This is about the food park and I'll just come to it for a minute, but I just want to get clarity on this. Am I to understand that Smriti Irani, who's investing a lot of time already in Amethi, has decided that this is my karma bhumi, I am going to take on Rahul Gandhi even in the 2019 elections?
Firstly, I went there to engage with the people of Amethi. Rahul Gandhi was absent the time that I visited Amethi. My intention was to connect with the people, and this is not a new intention which has come to the fore. This is a promise that I kept to the people of Amethi, which I made during the Lok Sabha elections, where I was accused कि दोबारा कभी दिखाई नहीं देंगी by the Congress camp.
But now you are coming there because the Prime Minister and the BJP leadership wants you to take on the Rahul Gandhi.
Are you in possession of such a memo or a directive where I've been told कि no, now go, so that it's, like I said, why would you not possibly imagine a scenario that is the day he chose to speak when I'm in Amethi?
Are you going to contest the 2019 election from Amethi? Would you like to? Is that your aim? Have you made Amethi your karma bhumi because you've gone there, as you said?
I don't decide where I contest from. My party does.
The question though is that the food park issue which you raised.
I didn't raise it, Mr. Gandhi did.
Mr. Gandhi raised the issue of the food park. He claims that your government scrapped it. You are arguing that it was his government which decided in 2013 itself that this project was unviable. Now forget that for a moment. The fact is that...
Why forget that?
Because it can be tutu meme. You will say...
No, why is it...
He says your government scrapped it. He says your government scrapped it. You say he scrapped it. I want to know what are you doing for industrialization and employment in Amethi?
You know what is fascinating? 2 counts. Firstly, when Rahul Gandhi accuses the BJP of something, it is headline news. But when the BJP has solid response on facts, it is tutu meme.
No, it was also headline news.
No,
it was also headline news.
It is not. You yourself are reducing it to a tutu meme. Let me now highlight the facts. Out of the documentation which is available on the floor of the House, this is what has come to the fore. 2010, you talk about this grand plan to have a food park in Amethi. In 2012, there is a segment within the UP government which says that we are willing to give you vacant land and not charge any commercial rates for this land. And obviously the documentation which I have seen on the floor of the House states that within 1 week, kindly take this land, we are willing to give it. That land is not taken, at least there is no such documentation available to show that that land was taken so that the park becomes a reality. In 2013, the then Food Processing Ministry receives an informative letter from the Ministry of Petroleum stating we are not going to give subsidized gas at APM rates. Okay, And post that, a letter comes from the promoter of the food park saying, well, if you don't give us subsidized gas, we need to have a captive power plant, then the food park for us is not viable. This is quote unquote something which under the previous administration led by the Congress party has come to the fore. This is not tutu meme. So the accusation that we are the ones to scrap it is absolutely false.
So you believe Rahul Gandhi was lying? You believe Rahul Gandhi was lying simply to get publicity?
I believe the documents I see, those documents have the stamp of approval or the stamp of the previous regime which was led by the Congress party. It is for the people of India to decide whether Rahul Gandhi misled not only the people but also the House.
Can I therefore ask you very clearly one last time on this? Is Rahul Gandhi in some way getting under the skin on the land bill? Because a recent survey showed 70% want this land bill to be withdrawn, and the government is getting this suit boot ki sarkar image which Rahul Gandhi wants to push, according to a survey. Recent India TV See Voter survey suggested
I have to say one thing for sure. There have been many surveys of many kinds. There was a survey that Narendra Modi can never be Prime Minister. He's a Prime Minister today. There was a survey which says that the BJP will not win that many votes. BJP will not have an absolute majority. BJP has an absolute majority today. So surveys are something which change with a different light of day. Surveys are something which can get an argument to linger on.
So you don't think you lost the communication battle on the land bill?
No, I have not. If you saw the 4 Kisan Panchayats I did in Amethi, when we spoke to the Kisan there directly, every news organization was available to carry it live, and they saw, Amethi farmers are saying, if I get 4 times the market value for my land, why should there be an objection? If I get a job, why should there be an objection? But the most important part that possibly nobody wants to focus on is the fact that land is a state subject. If the state so desires, they can change the rules to suit the needs and desires of the people of the state. What is also a fact is that even Congress state governments have written asking for changes in the bill. And that is a reality that even the Congress party cannot run away from.
So how do you see Rahul Gandhi then? How do you see Rahul Gandhi today? How do you see? Because he seems to have become...
Sardesai, you are more fascinated by Rahul Gandhi than I am. Why would I waste my time seeing Rahul Gandhi for any matter?
Your party doesn't take him seriously?
My party,
you don't take him seriously?
My party has taken a particular stand which is available for you all to discuss and debate about. But for you...
What is your view of Rahul Gandhi?
My view of Rahul Gandhi is he has a lot of explaining to the people of Amethi to do. On these projects, which have so-called done udghatans and inaugurations have happened, but they've not gone down to ground reality.
So therefore you think he's judged like suit boot ki sarkar and all?
Well, we know last who wrote that suit boot. That was somebody's Jijaji. I don't know whether he's referring to him or to somebody else. But I think that to reduce very, very serious political issues to just jibes do not augur well for the people who stand to benefit from good governance measures.
So therefore your government will go ahead with this land bill because you believe it's in the interest of the people of this country.
I think that in the realm of my responsibility, I can forcefully speak on the issues of education. The government spokesperson, I think, has time and again reiterated that if we need development in the country, then proactively through measures of cooperative federalism, we will ensure that every measure is taken in the interest of development and interest of people of India.
Let me then come to those specific issues of your department. Yes. Number one controversy, and I'm going to highlight 5 or 6. Number one, the latest one, is your proposed appointment of Sanjay Kachru as your OST has been cancelled by the Prime Minister's office.
I have nothing to say on that because I have received no cancellation.
It's not true that the Intelligence Bureau has rejected his appointment, so he continues?
I have no rejection letter.
I was told that he previously worked in the corporate communication department of a leading corporate and therefore the government has raised a question mark over his appointment.
I have received no such communication.
So he continues. Controversy number...
Did I say he continues?
Okay. Okay. Controversy number 2 stems from the Fab India issue. Many believe that the Fab India issue, some thought that it was a deliberate attempt to try and project Smriti Irani as some kind of a victim because there was a feeling at the time you might be dropped from the cabinet and therefore you wanted to divert issues.
Well, ever since I've taken office, there have been controversies about me being dropped or me being shoved out. I'm still here after 1 year.
Are you saying that at no stage was that stage managed as some seem to suggest
so
to even to even take attention away from the BJP National Executive.
I never in my life imagined that the charge of misogyny on Rajdeep Sardesai and the charge of hatred for not only Narendra Modi but even his little sister by Rajdeep Sardesai would be so evident in an interview like this.
Meenakshi Lekhi. No, I have never. I have high respect for you and I have high respect for Modi ji. So I want to clarify that. But I want
seen your respect on many
Meenakshi Lekhi tweets saying, "Do I smell a rat to obfuscate the BJP National Executive meeting?
Tweet?
Attempts being made not to cover National Executive instead of covering some inane
What
issues."
What is the next tweet?
She says.
What is the next tweet? Read the tweet.
So you're saying that.
Read the next tweet.
Many
what
people
is the next tweet?
She says, please read. Whoever wants to quote or play the recent tweets, please play both to avoid any spin or confusion.
No, but read this tweet which says that I make no kind of indications towards Smriti ji. Okay. Why are you leaving that deliberately out?
So you believe that
Why are you leaving it deliberately out?
Okay.
Are you telling me that a woman in this country will be violated only so that she can make a headline? Is that your charge as a man or as a journalist?
No, my charge is that there are people within possibly your own party or your own critics
things
or your own critics
or
own critics.
What does Rajdeep Sardesai think? I concoct issues.
No, I think that Smriti Irani is an extremely talented
woman. Violated so that Rajdeep Sardesai can ask me about it in an interview.
Okay. So you think that this that the Fab...
What do you think about it as a man and as a journalist?
I think what happened in the Fab India issue, those who tried to raise a controversy suggesting that you had deflected attention from it.
No, I'm asking what Rajdeep Sardesai thinks about the incident.
Rajdeep Sardesai thinks that Smriti Irani has every reason to raise the issue.
That's it. Okay. End of story.
Okay. End of story.
Next question.
Let's turn to the next controversy. The next controversy is over your own HRD ministry. The fact that 4 MPs have now written to the President saying that you are interfering in the functioning of higher education institutes, including IIT.
And how is that proved?
They've written a notice saying that this is the information that they have received.
And what is the information?
And they have also gone by the fact that the IIT Board of Governors in Mumbai, Dr. Anil Kakodkar, said he's resigning before the end of his tenure. The Delhi IIT director announced his retirement.
Anil Kakodkar is very much a part of the IIT board. What does that show? That the implication by the so-called honorable members of parliament is wrong?
But he himself had gone public to suggest that he was...
I am going public time and again to show and prove on record that Dr. Kakodkar is not only a part of the board and will complete his full term in office, but Dr. Kakodkar is very much a part and parcel of 2-3 other initiatives of the MHRD.
Why did he then announce his intention
That is for Dr. Kakodkar to have an interview. You can have an interview with him and get into that story.
What about the Delhi IIT director also who decided that he wanted to resign?
Just 4 days ago, the Delhi IIT director, in capacity of Delhi IIT director, went with the president to Moscow, all fair and all things paid for by Government of India in the capacity of IIT director. Does that look wants to resign?
Are you saying therefore that this entire charge being made by these MPs?
I'm just asking you 2 very simple questions.
Okay.
One, that Anil Kakodkar is very much a part of the board and is on board of 2 other initiatives of HRD. Does that look like a man who has resigned from his post? 2, an IIT director just 4 days ago returns from Moscow with the President of India after having all expense paid trip to Moscow to do something on behalf of the IITs as the IIT director. Does that look like a man who wants to resign?
Smriti Irani, the other grave allegation is that you don't behave well with your officers. You've thrown files at them. And that 5 joint secretaries have already stepped out and gone away from your ministry in the last 11 months, more than in the previous 5 years of the UPA.
If the intention is to say that I'm such an ill-tempered woman, that I'm throwing files, I should be throwing something at you right now. Shouldn't I?
Why are these stories coming out? These are news reports.
That's because I feel that if you are somebody who's forthright enough, you're bound to have some kind of murmur somewhere, especially with people who are now being brought to book or now being told that you better measure up and you better fulfill your responsibilities towards the office that you hold.
So is this simply a matter of the manner of person you are, that you like to call a spade a shovel? That you like to call a spade a shovel, therefore you're saying the bureaucrats are angry with you?
Please understand, I call a spade, and please also understand that the Indian Administrative Services not only has conducts vis-a-vis rules for their own service, but also can bring any individual, including a minister, to book if there is any kind of misbehavior by the minister.
Let me raise this question.
Let alone minister, any politician or any MP.
So your relations with your bureaucrats?
My relationship with my well-meaning bureaucrats is absolutely fine. Thank you.
You use the word well-meaning deliberately.
Are bureaucrats not supposed to be well-meaning?
Are you saying that there is a section of the bureaucracy which is targeting you?
I'm not. Are you saying that?
No, I'm asking you.
I'm not
saying
it.
You use the word well-meaning.
Yes, but are you saying bureaucrats are not well-meaning?
That was the implication that I had from what you said. But okay, let me turn to the other issue, which is that you are accused, as often other HRD ministers also have, of packing key posts with your men.
I think I have blown holes in that theory in my Lok Sabha speech.
Yes, you did.
I have highlighted how people with backgrounds with the Communist Party, with backgrounds in the Congress Party are very much in key positions right now in organizations that are affiliated by the HRD ministry.
But you also brought in people with RSS affiliation, whether UGC, whether National Book Trust, whether Union Council of Historians. So what the Congress and the left did,
so what you are trying to say to me is, the Congress and the left never had anybody but people from their own affiliations within such systems. For the first time, education sector sees people from all political views come to the fore. Why? Because for me what matters is their academic credentials. So ultimately this is an amalgamation of good academicians. Are you telling me
I am
that
told
somebody
that they are essentially academicians with a right-wing ideology?
My answer is not finished. Are you telling me that an academician with a Congress background and an academician with a communist background can be hired, but not an academician who might have had a Hindutva background or a BJP background?
Isn't that a qualification today?
No, it is not.
Isn't that a qualification today to get an important post?
If that was a qualification, would somebody from the Congress Party or the Communist Party find a place in HRD today?
Why do these news reports then come that the HRD ministry is being used by the RSS as an extension for their larger cultural project, that they are trying to fill in all these various key posts?
Well, I have
and Smriti Irani now goes to Jhandewala because she has to oblige the RSS.
Smriti Irani had been to Jhandewala eons back and continues to have association with people across political and ideological lines. Smriti Irani would do a namaste to even a Mallikarjun Kharge who accuses her. Smriti Irani even ensures that Tyagi ji, the JDU leader who accuses me of interfering, the admissions that he gives me to help children are helped. So Smriti Irani has helped everybody possible because ultimately we are seeking to serve children and not political interests. So all these leaders across political party lines have got in some way or the other, to the best of my capacity, some kind of support to help the children they want to help.
You know, why are you then getting yourself into these confrontations? We even saw with the Delhi the Delhi University VC over the whole 4-year course project. It was suggested as if Smriti Irani ramroded the issue.
Please understand one thing. You are a father, correct? What would you say if your child was enrolled in a program where the degree that the child was pursuing had absolutely no legal value? Would you want your child to fulfill that entire degree and waste that time and be on the streets after 3 to 4 years and say, well, the degree I pursued has absolutely no legal value? I had 77,000 students enrolled in 44 courses which had no approval from the President's office. Was I to leave them quietly to their fate?
Should there be no dialogue? Should there be no dialogue on these issues? Should there be no dialogue? Many believe that Smriti Irani is pushing decisions without dialogue. Whether it's the 4-year course issue, whether it's giving approval to a particular college or not.
Answer one thing. I don't get into approvals of colleges.
You don't get into approvals of colleges at any stage?
No.
Because that has often been a question mark over HRD ministers.
There's been no such
whether a university should be given deemed university, you stayed out of that completely.
Rajdeep, after all your accusations have fallen flat, now you're starting to concoct your own controversies. Please understand one thing. Are you of the opinion that I am to leave 77,000 students in the lurch and on the streets after 4 years of their hard work just because Rajdeep Sardesai or some columnist or some so-called academician might write something against me? Am I to fulfill my responsibility to those students, or am I supposed to chase a good headline?
You know, your justification, for example, to replace German as the third language for Sanskrit.
Is German the third language of India?
No. My point is that
your point is whatever your point is.
Dialogue. Could all this not have been done with a dialogue?
German the third
Eventually,
language.
you ended in a confrontation with the German ambassador.
I'm not in a confrontation with any ambassador. And the position government of India took was upheld by the Supreme Court of India. Are you telling me that the opinion of Rajdeep Sardesai is more important than the opinion of the Honorable Supreme Court of India? Is German the third language of India? Please answer that.
Is it not useful?
Is it
not useful to give an option to a student?
Answer the first question.
Why not give an option?
Answer the first question. I'll give you the answer to the second.
For me, it should be optional.
No. Is German constitutionally the third language of India, Rajdeep?
I am saying give the students the option.
Answer a very, very technical to chhodiye, legal bhi chhodiye. Answer a very factual question. Is German the third language of your country?
I'm realizing why you're such a tough cookie.
No, I'm asking you a question, you're not answering me.
Okay. I,
as a government of India representative, sign a document which says that German is the third language of my country?
Smriti Irani, tell me.
Are you telling me I should engage in a dialogue? जैसे नहीं जर्मन है तो नहीं मेरे देश की थर्ड लैंग्वेज, लेकिन राजदीप जी कह रहे हैं तो चलिए साइन कर देते हैं.
Why do you think, Smriti Irani, you have found yourself in a situation where you were dropped from the party's national executive?
I was not dropped from anywhere. If there was genuinely a political attack on my individual being, would I still be the HRD minister?
Have you at any stage been given to believe...
But you still haven't answered my question.
No.
Is German the third language of our country?
Accepted.
Accepted.
I have taken, but I had another view to it. I believe that the option should be left to students.
Second, please, आप एहसान नहीं करें. Now you talk about options to the students. German, French, Chinese. These are the options given to our students. Did you ever write about it or talk about it?
Good point. Okay, good point. Again, you're raising good points. You're a very
good points. Yeah.
No, can I come back to the facts? Facts is that you were dropped from the national executive.
Yes. So.
Is that in a sense because
fact is after that also, that there is a section fact is that after that also my party president is engaging with me. Fact is that after that also I am still the HRD minister of this country. Fact is that after that also I am still holding press briefings in BJP office. What does that show? That my party supports me and respects me just as they did before. Did you question my party when they made me a cabinet minister at the age of 38? Did you question my party when they made me the youngest ever female to get into the Rajya Sabha in the history of this country? Did you question my party when they made me 5-time member of the national executive, 5 times, and twice the national secretary and the Mahila Morcha national president?
I'm just wondering, all these achievements that you have listed on, which are quite remarkable in there, because they achieve records. I mean, at 39 to become an HRD minister, a very senior post, is a remarkable achievement. I'm just wondering whether your success, your meteoric success, has led to enemies for you within and outside the system, particularly because you're a woman, and I will now bring the point of misogyny. That those who will look at, and I've seen some of the articles, they've clearly been written with a way, even Madhu Kishwar, who's a sympathizer of Narendra Modi, is a well-wisher, has now written to him saying that Smriti Irani should be removed at HRD. She is not qualified to be an HRD minister.
I have said this before and I'll say it now. Couldn't care less for criticism which is not constructive. If there is some criticism which is genuinely constructive, which will help me help people, I'm more than happy to embrace it. If there are personal jibes, misogynistic statements, or some heavily loaded gender biased statements made against me, or the fact that I don't have the correct pedigree and I'm extremely the average Joe or Jane and hence cannot challenge somebody who belongs to political royalty, all those kinds of insinuations, couldn't care less.
But I think that
I'm still not finished. I think that ultimately you need to understand this is a new nation. This is a new India. Where the average citizen says, I don't want doles, I don't want handouts. I want just a modicum of respect for the kind of life I have led and the journey that I have had on my own strengths and my own abilities. That's all I ask for. And even if you don't give it to me, couldn't care less.
You know, therefore, when people say, Smriti Irani handling HRD, complicated ministry.
Not as complicated as
Is she qualified for it? Does she have the educational qualifications? Does she have the political experience? Does she have the administrative experience? Do you believe it's coming somewhere? They will even say today that because she has the backing of an Amit Shah or a Narendra Modi, that's why no one can touch Smriti Irani. Do you believe that all this is coming because you're a woman?
I think that...
Do you believe that you would get the same flack if you were a man?
I've said this before and I'm saying it today. I'm not a political Cinderella who is waiting to be rescued. I also have to say very, very clearly that the so-called educated lot who were my predecessors before, they are the ones who had 77,000 students left in the lurch in 44 courses. They are the ones who signed MOUs internationally which deigned a foreign language as India's third language. How is that for an educated predecessor?
Do you therefore still have the full confidence of Prime Minister Modi? Will you continue as HRD Minister?
That is
or
is there
a sense that maybe in a cabinet reshuffle you could be moved out? Have you been given any indication by the Prime Minister?
Well, you want to play devil's advocate with the Prime Minister. Good luck getting an interview with him. I will only say this, that I have his confidence to at least complete 1 year in office, and that speaks a lot, at least for me, rather than the news articles that wrote my obituary.
And how will you describe in conclusion this 1 year as HRD Minister? If I were to ask you as a one-liner, since you're very good at one-liners, what's the one-liner that you would use to describe your 1 year as HRD Minister?
Well, I think that from Rajdeep Sardesai's perspective, this 1 year would have been fantastic if only he wrote a book about me like he wrote on Narendra Modi.
Smriti Irani, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and what we are missing on television on a regular basis, it's nice to see you in your new avatar. Thank you very much. Appropriately dressed, I can see, in blazing red. Smriti Irani, combative as ever, and gives it as good as she gets. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.